So we want to get that into this. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. Little dude's taking a walk on me. Just kind of put it in my hand to get it out. It's very, very calm, very docile. Their legs are very, very sticky. Not sticky in the sense of sticky, but they will, when you try to like move them, they will attach to you. Where are you going? Come over here. Try to get him back here. So yeah, there's no harm with these guys at all. You don't have to worry about them. They're just inquisitive. They do move around quite a bit. I don't know how well they do upside down, but I guess we're going to find out. Huh? We can move the enclosure back so we can get a better look, I guess, huh? So yeah, there it is. They remind me of like holding a praying mantis. The way that the feet feel on you, and yeah. There you go. You go around. I don't want you to fall on the back of my arm now. I don't want it to fall. They get a pretty good grip, so I'm not really overly concerned with it just dropping, but you definitely don't want it to fall. You can see where it's at now. And they're not real fond of light, but they are very, you know, I mean, for a bug, I guess you could say they're pretty laid back. I don't have absolutely any concern with this thing trying to claw me or anything like that. It's just crawling around trying to figure out what's going on. We'll get its enclosure back up here, and we'll try and get it back into the enclosure. Maybe. I don't think it's going to cooperate with me. It's having a good time out here on its own. There we go, little one. So yeah, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I really am. I was hesitant. I almost got one from Ruth last spring at Buffalo, and I didn't. I was just a little hesitant because I've heard, you know, they were kind of tough to keep, and I did a little bit more research on them, and, you know, talking to Ruth, she hasn't had issues with them, so I was like, let's go ahead and give it a try. And you know, this one's not full grown by any means. I'm not exactly 100% positive how big they'll get, but I can imagine being around 4 inches probably. So yeah, it'd be a lot of fun, you know, again, just having something different, and it's been very, very easy to keep. It's been a very good eater. This last time feeding was the first time that I fed that it didn't accept food. So we'll see how it goes. You can see what the enclosure looks like here. So it's basically just a simple setup. They're cocoa, you know, the cocoa core water dish, which I've never actually watched it go into water dish that I had in there, but it was just a bottle cap. So I didn't fill this one all the way up to the top just because I'm not exactly 100% positive what will happen if it gets in there, you know what I'm saying? So I have to keep an eye on that. and then just here, just the bark that was in its old enclosure, and the substrate, as you could see, kind of goes up on a ramp. So it's deeper on this side, so it can burrow underneath, which they're supposed to do. They're supposed to like to burrow. So we'll see what it does in here. Kind of anxious to see, actually. Yeah, it's cleaning its antenna, or feelers, or whatever you want to call these things. I don't know if they call those antenna, or those are, you know, part of their appendage. I don't think they're considered leg. They're the same thing as like the you know, Diademas, and I think those are actually not technically tailless whip scorpions. I think they're tailless whip spiders, because the tailless whip scorpion thing came from, well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, what I was reading earlier is that the name of these, the family order, is because of that tail right there. It begins with a U, right? And I didn't write all that stuff down. I was just briefly reading about them. You know, the ones from Africa, there's a lot of them that'll be from subtropical areas. You know, probably in South America, in Africa, where there's, you know, a lot of dampness, humidity. And then there's the ones from the arid area, like Arizona, New Mexico. And I believe that this one is one of those, at least based on a few people that have raised these things. All three of them that I've asked, out of three so far, have said that it's a Mastigo proctus giganteus, which would be from the Arizona, New Mexico area. So that's the problem, is that you just don't know. And so when you have these, you know, you could mess up husbandry by keeping it too dry or keeping it too wet. So we're going to try and do a little bit of both. We'll probably keep the front part a little damper and see how it likes it. You can see it's going into its burrow now. That tail's pretty long. The tail's a good 2 inches long. But it had no reservations about climbing on my hand. You know, like a lot of tarantulas, they put your hand there, they sense that heat and they don't have anything to do with it. This one climbed right on. Didn't have no hesitations whatsoever. I think it's actually starting to dig. And they'll dig with the pedipalps, which are the claws. That's what they are. I think that's what it's doing now. So it's going to be great. You know, again, we're going to give it something that's a little bit more suited for it. We'll give it the opportunity to do what it needs to do, and then hopefully we'll see it out a little bit more. Well, hopefully we see it out, because in the last enclosure you guys saw it out all the time. But I would take its bark out for you so that we could see the feeding. But yeah, I'd get one. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate. Again, I really wouldn't. You know, so anybody that's on the fence about these, thinking, you know, maybe not, I would get one. You know, they're not super expensive. I'm not exactly sure their lifespan. I can't imagine it being extremely long, but you never know. I mean, Damon Diadema, I guess are 5 to 8 years, you know, somewhere in that area. So I would imagine these guys are probably similar. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, we'll do some updates. I think the next in the burrow series will be strictly updates on some animals. You know, some tarantulas that have molted, some that need to molt desperately. We'll update the Balfours. Yeah, and then I was contacted by an acquaintance of mine. I've known her for a couple of years, just through the tarantula community. Not the actual tarantula community Facebook group, but you know, the different groups. She was a member of Tarantula Keepers anyway. She has some really nice specimens, and I guess she was diagnosed with bad news, let's put it that way. And she contacted me yesterday, and you know, she said, you know, this may sound a little weird, but you know, I was diagnosed with this, and you know, probably with all the stuff she's got to go through, you know, tarantula's got to be the last thing on her mind. But she wanted me to take her collection, you know, what was left of her collection, and especially the ones that meant a lot to her. And it meant a lot to me for her to ask me, you know, out of all the people she could have, she asked me to take these spiders from her. So once she she's got to give me a list of what she has, and sizes and sex and everything. And there's no way that I could ever say no, to somebody that would lay that kind of honor and responsibility on me. It's gonna be tough for me to house them all here. But what I'll do is probably move some of my stuff out here that I have, 2 or 3 that I don't have any intentions of breeding, stuff like that to accommodate these. I know she has a beautiful Haplopelma Von Worthy that I eyed up before, about 4 inches, and she has a 4.5-inch female Acanthoscuria geniculata. I think she named it Kevin, but she said that she's a pain. So it'd be interesting, I really feel bad that she's got to go through what she's going through, and I hope it's nothing major, that she can go through what she needs to get through and get better, and and hopefully she does. And if she does, then I can send everything back to her with a smile, and know that I kind of helped somebody. So yeah, so that it's like 10 to 15 tarantulas, and probably most of them are probably going to be I would say juveniles to adult sizes. So we're really going to have to do something different in this room to figure it out. We're really going to have to do something different in this room to figure it out. So let's get started with the turtle. The turtle's going to go, but that'll free up a little bit of space over there, and I'll have to rearrange the closet a little bit to free up some room on the dresser. It's in there. I can put some stuff in. But then you think about it, I have all those slings coming too. So we're going to have to do some stuff, I think. We're going to have to really sell a lot of those guys cheap, just to move them, because there's no way I'm going to be able to take care of all this stuff by myself. So, but I'll do my best. That you can count on. So yeah. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this dude. Now it's really in there. The rehousing, the handling, and just some pictures of it. I wished I would have took a picture of it while I was doing all this stuff, because I have no thumbnail now and it's digging a big hole. So we're just gonna have to do something different for a thumbnail on this one and go from there. So happy keeping.